Hey, Kate,
What?
why did the man fall down the well?
To get what?
Because he couldn't see that well.
Next. Welcome to Really Inappropriate Parents with Kate and Chance,
Hi, I'm Chance.
where absolutely nothing is off limits and everything has the potential to be inappropriate.
Episode 7. We're going to take a little different direction on
Do
this
you
one,
know how
I
to
believe,
say
right?
7 in Spanish? Don't try to start from uno dos. Just what do you think 7 is?
Siete?
Damn it.
Don't try me. I took 6 years of Spanish.
You also took
and I
German.
can barely
You
count
took
to
German.
10.
So
and I can probably count to 10 in both languages.
what's 7 in German?
Oh, I'd need to go through it.
Okay, go.
Got ein, zwei, drei, vier, fünf, sechs, sieben. So sieben. You didn't know I could speak German, did you?
I did know. I knew you took it. You don't speak it fluently.
I spoke those words fluently.
Okay.
So episode 7, like I said, we're going to take a little
Sieben.
different direction here, right?
It was old Sieben.
Can you stay on track? You're acting like you need one of my ADHD pills here.
No, I don't. You have to verify that you have a prescription for that.
Why do I have to verify anything?
Because we do not partake in any illegal activity.
Yeah, how do you think I'm just getting this? Do you think?
By
I don't leave the
prescription.
house. How am I supposed to get any kind of illicit
drug?
drug?
Clear that up.
You act like I have access to all these. Oh, you are a pharmacist. I guess that would.
Yeah, but
Is that why you're
and
trying
I'm
to clear things
technically
up?
supposed to go back. I'm going back to work tomorrow. So we're recording this on a Wednesday. It'll be uploaded Monday. So by then I'll have 2 days back in.
Yeah,
with
we'll
the
talk
work.
about that in the next one for sure. See how you feel
I don't
during.
want to talk about work.
People would like to hear about how the first day was.
Yeah. How about maybe?
Okay, solid maybe there. Episode 7. This one is going to be a little different. As I was saying, we've been trying to be better at keeping things a little bit more on track. It's not going well most of our episodes because we go off on such random tangents.
It's more interesting. It's like we're having.
I didn't say the tangents were bad.
Conversation. Yeah.
I just said we've been going off on random tangents where the
Like-
flow might be off a little bit, but that's just us in general because
was
that's how we
gonna-
are in real life.
Try to make a joke about and like
You're going to try to make a joke? Let's hear
about
it.
an isosceles triangle with tangents, but then I don't remember that. Tangent, cosine, sine. Do you remember that stuff?
I remember those, yes. Do I know
Yeah.
how to do them?
No, me
Absolutely
neither.
not. Geometry is probably my worst subject
I thought
ever
that
in
was
high school.
trigonometry. Wait, that's geometry?
Basic geometry is like the cosine.
Then what's trigonometry? Okay, anyways.
Yeah, moving on.
Okay. So what are we going to do this episode?
We just thought we'd try out something a little different. I think we're gonna try to have a more structure throughout our episodes, but on this one, we just thought it'd be a fun idea just to get together and have questions for each other. They could be easy questions like ballpark ones like, Kate, what's your favorite color?
Blue.
See how easy that was? But they're going to be a little bit more in depth.
Oh, they are?
More questions are.
Oh, no.
It'll be fun that we can hopefully just kind of talk
Well,
about.
and this is going to be a way for you guys to get to know us on an interesting way because some of the questions we're going to ask each other, we may not even know about each other.
Ooh, do you have some good ones?
No, I'm just saying maybe the ones
Oh,
you
you don't
asked
have any
me.
good
No,
questions?
I don't have any. They're on a website. I'm just going to read them off to you.
So before we get started on the questions, I think people are enjoying hearing kind of how we are doing each episode. Just a little quick. Little quick
Were you trying? Were you
briefing
thinking
on
like quick,
how we are.
A quick queef? Can you say that like 10 times?
Yeah, I'm not
fast?
going to say that
Quick
10
queef.
times.
Quick queef. Quick.
And you can't even do it. All right, so how are you today, Kate? I know you've been nervous about going back to work because neither of us have really been back to work since, we took time off to be with Eliza.
Yeah. So I haven't been back to work since mid-April of 2021. just after her surgery. I needed more time with her. I wasn't going to keep working full time. So, oh my gosh, it's November now.
I know. It
So,
it doesn't even seem like it's been that long.
And Eliza passed on June 20th. So it hasn't been a full like 6 months since her passing, which fellow parents have gone back to work after 6 months.
I bet there's parents out there who need that paycheck right away.
Yeah.
So they probably go back to work way before they're ready. And I sit here most days and I truly cannot, I can't even fathom how they are feeling.
Yeah.
Going back to work before they're
ready.
Mentally and physically ready.
I talked to a parent who went back to work after a huge tragedy, after taking, I think it was only 8 weeks or something, went back to work and then was like, no. And then she took 8 months. So I am a little bit nervous just because you
and I are very good at putting on happy faces, though.
I know, but it's exhausting.
It's exhausting.
And when you work in just customer service based industries, putting on that smile is important to ease your customers, but it's sometimes it's a huge toll on me.
Yeah.
And I'm so on edge lately. If you haven't been
I've noticed
noticing it through the attention in the podcast. But yeah, I'm easily irritable, and I've never considered myself an anxious person. This is the first time I've really felt that sort of feeling of anxiety and nervousness going back to work. And yeah, so it should be interesting.
Yeah, I'm still very nervous, especially just because Eliza spent so much time at the children's hospital that I work at.
Yeah.
Even thinking about going back to work and seeing those rooms that I'd have to work in, especially in the ICU when all those kids are very sick.
Yeah.
It's hard to, I wouldn't want to go back unless I'm 100% mentally ready, because I mean, there's still times where we even think about Eliza, and like last night, we just start crying. And I just don't want that to hit me in the middle of a work day, especially taking care of someone else's kid. I want to be, physically and mentally ready to take care of someone else's kid.
Yeah, exactly.
Because they're going through a horrible time, and they don't need someone else who's just not ready to give
exactly
all
for
for their child.
I can't imagine going back to a place where Eliza was in those rooms. And I know we briefly mentioned it, and I don't want to keep you guys hanging, because I think sometimes we say things and then we won't tell the story of why we teared up last night. So we were sitting on the couch after watching Dave Chappelle?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And also just
he's
FYI,
a genius, by the way.
FYI, I was thinking about this in the bathroom, that if you were to ask me a question, I know you're going to ask me questions, but if I had one freebie, what's it called? Like a hall pass?
Yeah.
Dave Chappelle.
Really?
Hands down, I think that man is a genius.
He is, I agree.
At me like, he's a genius. And
genius.
He's the GOAT. So anyways, that gives you a little background. So we're watching something funny, right? We're watching a comedy special, Dave Chappelle. Really funny. We're being very touchy with each other, and because Chance's physical touch. So rubbing his hair, and we're laying on each other and feeling close. So I would say that was important progress from the week before. And Chance starts tickling me.
You like yawned or something and raised her hand, so I just reached up
and
tried
Chance
to tickle her arm.
He said, tickle, 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 just how Eliza did.
And I wasn't even trying to do it. It was just second nature.
Yeah.
Because she used to do that where I would go up to Eliza and be like, hey, go tickle mom's feet. Go tickle her feet, like really quietly. And she would sneak up to mom, even though Kate already heard us say that. Yeah. And she would sneak up to her. And with her little hands, she made these little like movements and like scrunched her face with this big smile and would just go tickle, 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 just really fast. And that would be it. Then she'd turn around like, I just nailed that tickle.
Yeah.
And it was just, I every time I say that word, those words now and in that fashion 100%.
It was the
think of
first
her.
time since she passed away that you said that.
But I've
And I
like thought
remember-
about that line so much, how she used to say that so
I know.
much. But it was just second nature. I didn't even mean for it to come out like that. It just
I know.
did it.
So then Chance got really quiet. And I didn't know, I suspected that you were feeling the same way
Yeah.
I was feeling, because when he did that, I immediately thought of Eliza. I'm like, I know he is too. So I said, are you thinking about her? That's all I said.
And I was
he
already
said-
like starting to like tear
Yeah.
up a little bit.
And he just said, yeah. And then we had some moments where we just said, we want to talk about her.
I know.
And I don't think we talk about her enough.
We don't.
It's
Just
just
because
really
it's not that we
hard.
don't want to, because I want to constantly talk about her. I want to be out with my family and friends and just bring up fun moments that she was a part of. But it is so hard, because even now I can feel something in the back of my eyes, the back of my throat starting to. I'm
I
trying
know.
not to, but every time I just break down. And that's how I kind of know that I'm not 100% ready to go back to like children's hospital, see that.
Yeah.
Because if I can say the word tickle
Yeah.
and kind of lose it, I couldn't imagine some of the feelings that would be at work. It'd be so overwhelming at times. I wouldn't
Yeah.
want to, do that until I'm absolutely ready.
Yeah. And just to clarify, I am not ready to go back
that's
to
true.
work.
Yeah.
The only reason I'm going back to work is for health benefits. So because I have epilepsy and I have that same gene mutation Eliza did, I am prone to tumors in my spine, benign tumors called schwannomas, which is also the tumors they found after my dad passed away at age 45 in his spine. He also had schwannomas, and he passed away from a different cancer, not rhabdoid tumor cancer. So we don't know what we don't know about
Yeah.
this gene, SMARCB1 gene mutation. So I have in my mind that in my mid 40s, I'm going to be diagnosed with cancer. It's just, it sucks to think that. It's the reality of it though. So a lot of it has to do with, okay, I have seizures. I do have a mass in my brain, and I have been told by oncologists, you need to get annual MRIs. And if anyone knows how much an MRI costs, it can range from like $1,000 to $5,000.
Expensive, yeah.
And I have to get my brain and my spine. So it could be, I don't know how much it'd be, $8,000, $10,000. So I definitely need insurance.
Epilepsy is a very selfish diagnosis. I just feel like it is a very attention seeking. I just wanted to see your face when I said that. I'm kidding.
I thought you were serious, and I was concerned for the rest of our relationship moving forward. So
Been through a
I've
lot.
always had to think about insurance and the high.
I think it's harder for you
copay or
too,
high premium.
and you can tell me if I'm wrong, but because you are a
You're wrong.
doctor, you have a doctor in pharmacy, you went to
Yeah.
school for so long,
Okay.
I can't imagine thinking about doing something else, because you've worked so many years to get those letters after your name. I mean, even me, it's hard for me to think about not doing nursing or something with nursing, because that's why I went to college. It's scary to think about that,
Well,
to do something else.
I disagree respectfully. I think
okay.
we are really good at podcasting.
No, I agree.
This
What I'm
could
saying
be our
is it's-
job. This could be our career.
I would definitely I would love to keep getting on, because I just love sitting here talking to people and listening to the responses we get, talking about Eliza. I love that. If that could be my job, talking about life,
You could not. You
and
would cry
struggles and
every time.
Eliza.
You would cry.
Yeah, but over time maybe it'd get better. You think?
No, we couldn't even talk about her last night.
I know.
But I feel like I should have asked how you were before we started talking about this, because now I feel like, are you in a good headspace?
Yeah, I wouldn't say I'm in a bad headspace right
Okay.
now. And that's just because I'm trying to get out and do more fun things.
Mm-hmm.
Like we're going to play pickleball today. I'm going to try to eat lunch with my parents, even though I've been having that anxiety when I go
Social
out
anxiety, yeah.
in public. But I'm going to try to grab some lunch with my parents and my brother, hopefully my sister and stuff, just to see my family.
Yeah.
And then I think this weekend, one of my buddies got tickets to the Browns game. So just thinking about fun things in the future, it's helping a little bit.
Yeah, Chance is going to be at the Browns game, and I'm going to be at
It's-
freaking work.
What a great time, right?
I know.
That's kind of how we are right now. So I think we're just going to hop into the questions.
Yeah, so we're gonna
We wrote down,
practice.
so we didn't, these are completely authentic.
Yeah, and
we
you-
both wrote
so-
down questions. It could be anything about a relationship, about life, anything
Well,
that
now
we
I'm
both wrote
nervous
down.
because I just have a website pulled up that's
fine.
just called Questions to Ask a Guy.
But you've been looking through them, so you kind of know what to ask. And I wrote some down
Yeah.
too. So we're just
But
gonna
he's
gonna
like
randomly
got, like, a
ask
piece of
these
paper,
questions.
like old school.
Yeah. Like I wrote
So
it.
because
my
we're gonna
handwriting.
practice interviewing other people because fingers crossed we are in works with a company who is gonna help our podcast and monetize it, and potentially this could be our career. And they mentioned something about collaborating with other podcasters.
Yeah, so
we
tell
have
us
to
who you'd want us to
practice.
collaborate with. 'Cause
Yeah.
I'm down if we get Dave. Do you think Dave Chappelle will come on our show? Can
Absolutely not. Could you see him? Like, let me just.
you imagine next
Here's
episode
the
he's just
scene.
here like, hey,
Chance
guys.
and I are in the clothes we wore to bed still. We both haven't brushed our teeth, or I haven't washed my face, done anything. And the mics that we have are not the professional mics. They're good. But don't give me that look. Like, they're good mics, but they're not the ones that, people have on stands and they have the special, like, sound absorbing.
Now you're making hand motions this episode like you're cupping some balls.
Okay, so could you imagine we bring Dave Chappelle and he just comes in, he's like, I'm out!
I could see that.
I know. No, he's too nice.
I'd get that on video, though, at least him walking to our door.
Yeah.
That'd be an honor as is. All right, so first, do you want to go first and ask me a question? I don't know how many we're going to do. I have, I think, 6
I'll do it.
questions here. I'm
Okay.
sure you have a bunch that you're looking at. Let's just start asking, and then we'll see how long each question
Tengo
takes.
6 preguntas.
So you go for ladies first.
Okay, let me see. Oh, this one's good. Okay, so Chance loves movies. So this is going to be.
This better be good.
Okay.
Starting with that.
What movie do you wish life was more like?
Man, that's an interesting one. You know the movie Groundhog Day,
Yeah.
where he just got to live the same day over and over again?
Mm-hmm.
Although that would be hell at times,
Yeah.
there are certain days where I wish, because of how I feel, I wish I could just do anything I wanted and have no like repercussions for it.
That's true.
Like it'd be a start over each day. But after like reading more into Groundhog Day, so if you haven't seen the movie Groundhog Day with Bill Murray, the premises of the movie is he wakes up on Groundhog Day every day for you just don't know how long. It's like the entire movie. So he's no matter what he does throughout the day, he can kill himself, he could go to jail, he could have the best day in the world. He'll wake up the next morning at 6 a.m. and it's Groundhog Day again, and nothing happened. No one remembers but him.
Yeah.
And I think that would be such a cool premise in life because you
Okay.
could do so much, you could learn so much. And if you ever did break out of it, you would have so much more knowledge and respect for life and how short it is.
That's such a great answer, Chance.
Yeah, and that was
I
off
thought
the
you- I
top
thought
of my
you were-
head,
I
like
thought you were gonna-
authentic.
I thought you were going to say Star Wars. I thought you were going to
Oh,
say
damn it.
something.
Can I change?
No, you can't.
That would be cool to travel
I know,
space,
I
but-
feel like Chance would be like Star Wars, and I could have a lightsaber.
But just imagine you could eat so much in a day and wake up and you're like, "Psh, like I didn't eat. Let's do it again.
That is a great answer. I like
I
it.
know.
Unexpected.
So are we going back and forth between
Yeah.
these or just?
So now you ask me a question. as
Okay,
I-
so you're not going to answer your question though, right?
What do you mean? I asked you the question. Now you.
I
ask
didn't know
me.
if you would have to answer. Okay.
Oh, what?
So
Should
my
I?
question, are you ready? You had a good one. So I'm going to start off with one of my more profound ones. Are you ready for this?
No, but go ahead.
How, Kate, does your life compare to how you imagined it as a kid? That's deep.
How does it compare as how I imagined it as a kid?
Yeah, so what did you imagine your adult life would be like as a kid? Did you imagine you'd be a doctor?
So as a kid, you have to think. So I grew up really fast. So this question is going to be.
So by grew up really fast,
No.
do you mean
Let me explain.
like your Benjamin Button type of thing where you had to in some
no,
way?
because he didn't grow up fast. He like
I mean, he was
he
born
grew
a grown
down.
up.
He grew.
You know
he
what
grew,
I mean?
He grew down. He didn't grow up. He grew down. I don't know. So when I was 8 years old, my dad passed away, and our mom was raising 2 daughters on her own. And then I was diagnosed with epilepsy and then being bullied. And I don't remember episode whatever, 2, 3 maybe, where I explained that. So as a kid, I never thought about my life as an adult. I was never the girl who planned her wedding, who envisioned, this perfect life. I think maybe at some point where you're like, what do you want to be when you grow up? I said an artist. I never said writer, which I could have been a writer. And so just as a child, like, how does it compare to what I thought my life would be now? To be honest, I never expected to have an easy, blissful life that some people envision themselves having. I never thought I'd get married, which is why Chance and I are still not married. I never thought about that. I, at some point, never wanted kids. And I just felt like, I don't know, it's sad to say, but I was like living to die instead of, living to live. And yeah, that's a sad reality.
It's depressing to hear.
Yeah, I know.
You just made everyone feel depressed, which is fine.
Well, don't ask those questions.
Yeah, it's on me, I guess.
Yeah, unless you want.
All right, well, then do you have a good question?
What did you think I was going to say? Like, did you think I was going to be like, yeah, I just thought.
Yeah, I thought you were going to be like, I just wanted to find a man who made me happy, and you were just the perfect. You were what I imagined, Chance, is what I wanted. You were everything I imagined. That's what I was expecting to hear.
I did not. As a kid, I had no intentions of that. I was raised to be very independent.
All right, hit me up with your next question.
Okay, let's see. What's the worst and best thing about being male?
About being the male gender.
Yes.
What's the best and worst?
Start with the worst. What's the worst thing?
The worst thing. I'm going to start off with the best because it's so obvious. And you guys have heard it millions of times before. And it's just a time saver.
Okay.
Just being able to pee standing up. I don't
What?
think women really truly understand how just simple it is. And I'm talking about just being outside too. We could walk behind a tree.
That is true.
And we could barely pull our pants down and we're just ready to go. Women, like, I've seen you try to urinate outside and it's hilarious because you have to do this squatting thing where it looks like you're about to fall over.
I know.
And your like entire like ass and everything is just out.
I know.
So people can't be looking. I can hide it so easily. Not that I'm that small. I'm just saying I can hide it easily. You know what I mean? So I think being a man, taking that for advantage, like we'd have that as just one of our utilities to be like
with your own utility.
Exactly.
All right.
So that's just like, it's a simple, easy thing that I take for granted every day. I mean, I just peed 20 minutes ago and I took it for granted right there that I just had to stand up and do it.
Yeah,
it's great.
So what's the worst part?
The worst part, it's hard to say that there's worse parts and best parts just because I don't know how being a woman is.
Yeah,
but
that's
having
true.
a period sounds miserable.
Okay, well,
Every
that
time
would
you
be the
explain
worst
it.
part of being a female.
So I feel
But
like the
what's
best
worst
part, about being a male is that I don't have to have a
Okay,
period.
so wait, you're doing two bests?
I think the worst part, I don't think there is a worst part. I'm just sticking with the best.
You have the superior gender.
I'm glad.
Is that what you're saying? You really don't.
I just
you have
don't know how
nothing-
being a woman would be.
So-
I think
but
if
what-
I was a woman for like one day,
Okay,
the second I
take
wake
that
up,
out of it.
I would immediately I'd be too distracted. I'd be taking a shower every 2 minutes just to get to like look at myself. You know what I mean?
So the worst part about being a male, you don't have an answer.
I don't have a worst part right now. I mean, you reached over to like get my attention last night and you drilled me barely, but you hit my testicles and on accident. And I was like, I know I'm going to have that little throw up feeling for a second. That kind of sucks.
Okay,
Those
so
things
is
are
that
so
the worst
sensitive.
part?
Yeah, because they're hard to like walk around with sometimes,
Okay.
especially like when you're sitting or wearing It just you can never find a comfortable
So
positions.
sensitive, wrinkly balls.
Yeah, they're just in the way most of the time. Can you imagine just having that thing just
I
between
don't
your legs?
want to imagine that.
Especially trying to run and stuff sometimes. If it gets between your legs. I mean, have you seen those videos of testicles like popping the sound?
What are you?
Yeah, neither have
are
I.
You on a dark
Question
web?
number. All right, Kate, I know we just talked about your epilepsy, but pretend you just didn't have seizures at all. So take that out of your life.
Take that out of my life. Okay.
Who do you think is more likely to survive a zombie apocalypse? You or me?
Chance, you already know the answer to this.
Take epilepsy out of the question, though. That changes it.
I know.
I feel like you would definitely use your charm and your like smile to your advantage.
On a zombie?
Not to a zombie, but to like survive with other people.
Oh.
Like, because you need other people to survive.
Oh, that's true. Sometimes your sarcasm can get the best of you. You wouldn't be killed. Here's the thing. I think I would be the first one to be killed by a zombie, but you would be the first one to be killed
just by someone else.
By a civilian who's also trying to survive. I feel like
we'd get out of like a Walmart escape. We just kill 100 zombies.
Yeah.
And people would be like, "Is everyone okay?" I'd be like, yeah. Other than the bite mark, just completely joking.
Right.
And someone would just lift up their gun and shoot me.
Exactly.
Before I got to explain I was kidding.
Yeah, and then I would just be like, probably like crawling in next to bed where I thought it was like you or someone, and it was actually a zombie, and then they trolled.
Why is a zombie in bed?
They're just hiding.
Zombies don't sleep.
They're waiting for me.
They just walk around mindlessly.
In the corner. That's what I mean. I don't think I would check all the corners or check all the rooms. I'd make a lot of noise.
All right, well, let's hear your next question then.
I'm looking
Question numero dry.
No, say it.
I just spoke in 3 different languages there. Is that impressive? Was that not impressive?
But the way you said dry was like not German sounding.
Eins, zwei, drei.
Dry.
Did you take German?
Okay,
you
whatever. This is why Chance would not survive a zombie apocalypse with a civilian. Okay? Proof right there. How are these? Are these like date questions? These are insane. Okay.
So you weren't very prepared for this,
I
were you?
wasn't that prepared.
Question number 3 for Kate T. Do you like to go by Katie?
No, I don't. Stop that.
Let's hear it then.
Which celebrity would make the worst leader of a country?
That's not bad. Which celebrity would make the worst leader?
Yeah.
I mean, if you'd have told me, no, we won't get political there. No. Let me try to think about this for a second. I'm trying to think of a bad, honestly, I love this person's career and I think they are a musical genius. Mm-hmm. But man, Kanye would be, you just wouldn't know what he would do. You know what I mean? He's he's hilarious and he is a genius in his trait, but putting him as a leader of the country would be terrifying. He would be an interesting leader where I'd be like, oh God, what's he going to do today? Every day would be different. And
I feel like you don't know
I'd be terrified, but there'd be some good things where I'd be like, oh.
I feel like you don't know enough celebrities to really.
I don't know any celebrities personally, so I can't really say that. Who would you say?
It's not my question to answer.
You'd probably go Dave Chappelle, wouldn't you?
He wouldn't be the worst leader. He'd be the best leader.
Oh, you said worst, yeah.
Yeah. Who would be the worst leader? I don't know. I feel like a lot of celebrities are far more intelligent than we give them credit for.
Yeah, I was just learning about some of the high IQs in celebrities.
Yeah. So I don't know who would be the worst.
Who would be the best?
Dave Chappelle.
He'd be another interesting leader. He'd do a lot of good things, I think.
Yeah, I believe that.
All right, my next question. Do you want to go a little bit funnier, more relaxing question, or do you want me to hit you with some deep shit again?
I never want you to hit me with deep shit.
How about this? What's something surprising that you were afraid of as a child that maybe now you're still afraid of, or you're like, why was I afraid of that?
Oh.
Or maybe it could be the opposite, something that you weren't afraid of that you should have been more afraid of.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
I know exactly what it was. So as a kid, I don't know if I was watching scary movies when I shouldn't be. Like, so this is when my dad was still alive, because I remember I wasn't allowed to sleep in the bed because I would run downstairs and try to get in bed with mom and dad. So I was probably, I don't know, let's say 6 or 7.
Okay.
When you really start having memories. So every time at night when it was bedtime, first I would jump into bed. I would leap because I thought there was going to be someone that would grab my leg. I feel like that's pretty typical.
Yeah, obvious fear.
Yeah. But I would be laying in bed and I would see this old lady holding a knife. And
Is this a dream?
No. I saw her like, truly, I saw her moving through the patterns on the ceiling. Okay. And she had a knife and she had like this creature on a leash. That was like her backup. I don't know. And she would start at the one end of my room. I'm getting goosebumps, and because it made me, sometimes it makes me cry when I
It sounds
think
like
about it.
Cruella DeVille.
So she would start at the very opposite end of the room and slowly make her way through the pattern. And I'd be like in bed watching this, and she would get to the edge of the ceiling where the wall is smooth and the ceiling is patterned. And because it wasn't the same pattern, she couldn't get to me. So she would start taking her knife and digging it into the smoothness of the wall, trying to kill me.
Yeah, that seems very, not far-fetched, but
I
like
saw it. I really believed it was
like
happening.
you saw something as a kid and your imagination was just like, oh, that shadow of that speck right there, that's a woman with a creature trying to kill me.
She was moving through the patterns and like forming to it. And then the only reason I was safe is because my wall was smooth and the ceiling was patterned.
But thinking back now, do you think that was real?
No,
Honestly.
it was my imagination.
Yeah. So you were afraid of this.
Yeah. And so my mom doesn't remember, like, because I would come down at like, because 6 or 7, you shouldn't be coming down to your, I mean, maybe, I don't know, but most 6 or 7-year-olds are not running down to their parents' room every night to try to get in bed with them to like feel safe. So they would make me sleep on the ground. And I think my mom thought,
savage.
Well, I think they thought, well, if Kate sleeps on the ground enough time, she's not going to come down here.
Yeah, it's smart.
Never worked, because I was so
Just come
scared.
sleep on the
I was
ground.
so scared of that old lady crawling through my ceiling trying to get
That
to
would
me.
be scary as a kid if you really thought that.
I really believed it, and I could.
Can you imagine your
weird
parents?
I saw it.
And you're like, my parents don't even care this woman's trying to kill me. They're making me sleep on the ground.
I know. It's so ridiculous to think about now. But yeah, that was definitely a fear I had as a kid. And I used to think I could see dead people too. But that's probably because I watched the movie Sixth Sense or something. I used to see like ghosts. Stop rolling your eyes.
No, I do believe in the paranormal. Like it scares me most of the time. Some of those, there's no way that all those stories are just made up. Like there has to be some truth to some, if not most of those stories. Mm-hmm. I would be terrified if that actually happened to me. Like it'd be terrifying. That's probably one of my biggest fears if that happened. And I always think about watching those movies. I'm like, how are these people just not packing up and leaving this house? I'd like to think that I'm that smart, but honestly, I'd probably stay in this house and the demon would kill me somehow. I think I should have been more afraid of spiders as a kid, but I was one of those kids that would just play with them. Yeah. Like, do you remember those? What are those? Those corn web spiders? Is that what they're called?
Like
the
yellow
weavers?
and black ones? Yeah.
Like I'd hold them.
Did not.
Yeah, in my hand as like a little kid in like 2nd, 3rd grade.
How would you even get to them? They like don't leave their web.
I know. I'd have to. You would almost like inch them to your hand on the web because they would come to you. You could pick them up.
Can't they bite you?
I don't. Probably, but I just wasn't scared of them. And now I won't even touch it. If I see that, I'd be like, oh, that's cool. Not terrified of it. But there's no way I would ever pick up a spider right now. Kate.
What?
You have to pick something, okay?
Okay.
What is one thing looking at me. Are you looking at me?
Yeah, I'm looking at you.
What is one thing about my face?
Yeah,
And you have to pick something.
I do.
What is one thing about my face that you would change?
Oh my gosh.
You
You have
have to
such a
pick.
handsome face. I don't- This is good that I have nothing to think of. Does your hair count?
No, face.
Damn it.
Did you change my gap tooth?
No, I love your little gap in your teeth. I have nothing I would change.
You have to pick something. I
Okay,
said it.
maybe I could plug your eyebrows a little bit.
Wow.
I knew that was a setup.
Wow.
I knew that. Fine. Same question. What's one
I would do
thing-
this for you. Not that I want to change it because I don't care.
Okay.
But I know that you get your lashes done
Yeah.
and you have this tick where you pull all your lashes out
But that's not
because you're kind of a
something-
nervous. But what I would change is you have your eyelashes right now that you got them, your fake eyelashes.
Yeah.
They look great, by the way. Those were your real ones, and they
Well,
would
yeah,
never.
I wish
and they
they
would
were
never
my
come
real
out.
ones.
I know, and they would never come out. and they
Okay,
would just
every
look
girl
that
in the
good.
world wishes that.
So that's what I would change for you.
You wouldn't change my skin.
You're trying to change my
You
my
have
eyebrows.
made me pick. They just need. They could use a little pluck. You wouldn't change my skin. How it's like hyperpigmentation up here.
No, because I think you worry about that, and I don't really see that. It's
Yeah,
not what I.
you
I don't stare at your forehead when I'm looking at you. I look
Whatever.
into your big, beautiful eyes.
Sure you do. Is it my turn? Obviously, you can tell we're not great at interviewing. At least I feel like we're not really. I didn't really think about the questions. I just am looking on this website. I didn't tailor them to you specifically. Oh, did you tailor your questions to me?
I did.
No, you didn't.
Yes, I did. Like, what
Oh.
is something you wish you could tell your younger self? Mine would just be, hey, Bitcoin, get in that shit.
Oh my gosh, this is how different our minds work. So you said that, and I instantly was like, it gets worse. That's what I've told my younger.
Oh, damn.
How depressing is that?
Yeah, but think if you would go back and tell something positive instead of, hey, kid, you're in for some shit when you grow up.
I know.
Instead,
but my mind doesn't work.
but
that
honestly,
way.
my mind, my stupid younger self,
Yeah.
someone would come back and be like, hey, invest in Bitcoin. And I'd be like, "Psh,
You're like, no.
I'm not investing because you told me to. That's dumb. And I get to the point where I'm like, oh, I'm starting to hear about Bitcoin. Should I invest? And I'd be sitting
Yeah.
right here, right now, and be like, motherfucker, I should have invested in Bitcoin more.
Yeah.
Like I still tell myself every day.
Maybe tell my younger self, if I have to get out of my depressive state, that to put more effort into your friendships. I would tell my younger self that, because I think I was very hard to be friends with because of my sort of moody, depressive, isolating tendencies. And I think that, I never expected people to reach out to me. I was just I'm okay with being alone. But I do miss having those quality friendships, because I have a couple now that are really important to me, but I know I've lost friendships, which that could be another episode. Like,
Yeah.
the worst breakup of my life was with a friend.
Yeah, I remember you telling me that.
Yeah. So I think, I would tell my younger self to be more active in the friendship and not passively accepting the friendship.
That's such a mature thing to tell your younger self.
Yeah.
If I had to be immature about it,
But I would definitely still say it gets worse.
I would go back, and this is going to be a little embarrassing to tell.
Okay.
I would go back and tell my younger self when I had long, terrible, greasy hair, how to correctly wash my hair.
You didn't know how to wash your hair?
So here's what I did, Kate.
No.
As
I don't even think I want to know.
as a teenage boy, you're going through some changes, right? You're starting to get hair in places, you're smelling more. I'm being more active. I'm playing football. So I played football, and I would go home and I would take showers daily. But I didn't really understand the use of like good shampoo. I just thought washing, when you were like, take a shower, go wash off, I just thought that meant the water hitting you. And I would scrub my hair with just water. And then after I would dry it off, and it would still be so greasy. So I would go to school and people were like, oh, did you take a shower? Like, why don't you wash your hair? I'd be like, I did wash my freaking hair. Why are people
Chance,
telling me this?
Are you kidding?
And I would go home and I would take a shower. And the next day they'd be like, did you seriously still not wash your hair? I'd be like, what is going on? Is our shower,
Stop.
is it not good enough?
Chance, are you kidding?
And then
How do you not know?
And then my sister started using the same bathroom.
Okay.
And she started putting lovely shampoos and body
Were you
wash
like,
and
what
soaps.
is
And I
this
was like,
for?
I used the shampoo and conditioner and was just
Okay.
like,
Hold
wait,
on.
why is my hair just going straight down? Why is it so dry now? And I think I was like, wash your hair means wash it with soap.
How old were you when you first used shampoo?
I'm sure I used it growing up, but just not as religiously as I should have. Especially during football season and stuff.
Did your parents just think like, yeah, he's got to know like when you wash your hair?
I mean, my
you
parents
wash
were
it with-
teachers, so they would leave super early in the morning. We'd take the
Okay.
bus, and most of the time they wouldn't get home until like later, well after school, but we'd have football. My mom would be coming home cooking dinner. So we get home, eat dinner, go up and do homework. So it wasn't like a
can't-
lot of,
like they obviously told Bella. They're like, Bella,
I think
you
Bella,
need to
just
use-
being a woman, you just kind
No,
of,
well, that's what I'm trying to think back to. I think my mom was like, hey, I'm just, because she was using shampoo and conditioner. So I was like, I knew from watching her that she was buying shampoo and conditioner, and that's what she used on her hair.
yeah. So I would just tell myself that growing up, be like, hey,
So
just use a little bit more shampoo.
You should ask Tristan when he started using shampoo.
I think it was because I had so much hair too that it was harder to wash. Like, you know
No,
how you
you
said
weren't-
but you know how you hate washing your hair?
Yeah.
That was me. But my hair right now, it was 4 times as long and it was like a
Yeah.
bowl cut.
Well, I don't like washing my hair because it's bad for it. Because it's bleached.
Yeah, for your hair.
Yeah.
So that would be my biggest thing, to tell my grungy, dirty self to just wash a little better, you know?
Okay. I like that. It's very concerning. I'm going to have a chat with your parents about this.
But you're welcome now because I do know
I
how
know.
and have such respect for being clean. So you're welcome.
Yes. Thank you. I appreciate it. All right. I've got a question.
Let's hear it. We'll make this the last question
It is.
because I really have to pee. The coffee's running through me. So this is going to be the last
I don't
one.
believe that you have to pee. I think you have to.
Oh, do you want to follow me in the bathroom so I can stand up and you can be jealous?
No, Jads.
All right, let's hear your last question.
All right. What did you think was silly until you tried it?
What did I think was silly until I tried it?
You still don't have an answer.
I'm really trying to think like what I found silly.
Or just what did you think? Okay, not maybe silly is throwing you off. What did
It's
you-
really throwing
What
me
did you
off.
think was weird until you tried it? How about that?
Is this like a food?
Anything in life.
Anything in life?
Yeah.
Honestly, I had the biggest pushback. It's going to be another boring. It's going to be a boring answer.
Oh my gosh. What?
Venmo, I thought was so ridiculous. My brother was like, dude, just send me download the app Venmo, then you can just send me payments. Like, I'm tired of you giving me actual money. I'm like, what do you mean?
Yeah.
Just let me give you $20 for this. Why is it such a big deal?
Yeah.
And I had the biggest pushback by Venmo. And then I first used it. I was like, shit, this
Chance,
shit
that's
is
a
easy.
great answer. Because
Is it?
Yes.
You said the same thing.
I felt the same way. I was like, why? Like, what is Venmo? I don't get, like, why? What is that? And then now I can't imagine not having Venmo. and
It's so easy,
PayPal, both of
especially when
them.
we were renting and we had a bunch of roommates where we had to do different utilities and different names. It's so easy to be like, hey, you owe me $9 or $20. When in my old brand, I'd be like, no, just let me like cash out. Let me go to the bank and
I
get
don't
money.
even know what I did before Venmo.
It's hard to think about going back and paying people with actual
Chance,
money.
imagine if we got sponsored by Venmo or PayPal.
This would be a genius way to like
And then we could
enter a ad into here.
but we're not.
So ad here, we're gonna
No,
drop an
yeah,
ad here.
no.
So for the future though, for ads, would be a fun game
What?
is if we did so well at disguising the ad to where we put
Yeah,
it into
well,
our
that's the
conversation. Do you think we could do that where people are listening being like, wait, are they trying to sell an ad? They are.
They
like it comes
are.
on where it's not one of those ones where it's like, all right, and now for an ad break.
I
Let's
know.
really, if we ever get an ad, our first one, let's try to integrate it so well that they don't even know it's an ad.
Oh gosh.
All right, so
I'll
if you
take it into
download
account.
Venmo app and put it,
No, we are not we are not sponsored. All right, so if I were to answer that question,
I didn't ask you though, so let's end it there. And Okay, go for it.
I don't know.
Let's
Don't
hear your
worry about
answer.
it.
I thought you said Venmo was a good
Let's
one.
just say you'll never experience my answer
Is
again.
it a tampon?
No.
Because those are pretty silly.
What did I think was silly until I tried it? Anal sex.
Oh,
I thought it was weird.
that could be a whole episode.
Yeah, I thought it was weird before I tried it. I was like, why would anyone want to do that?
It's a good answer.
I know.
I wouldn't really call it. Yeah, I guess it would be
Yeah.
silly if you're just
It
thinking
was
about
like,
it.
I was like,
Like,
ugh.
why?
Like, why?
Ugh. Do you
Especially
admit
in
that?
high school when you're like, ugh. Even like just regular vaginal sex is like, meh.
Oh yeah, I didn't think that.
Yeah, because you're a guy. For girls in high school, man, we had it rough. We like didn't know what an orgasm was. We didn't know that sex was supposed to feel good. Like we were just like, don't get pregnant. Use a condom. Don't get
Yeah,
STDs.
guys, especially high school boys are just. We get turned on by anything. I could look at a fortune cookie and be like, "Oh God."
Is that why
I gotta
you
go to the
won't
bathroom.
watch tentacle porn with me?
No, I just don't want to.
You said you could be turned on by anything.
As a
Is that-
teenage boy.
Well, I think
So
you're
if you
just embarrassed.
if you threw some
I
tentacle,
think you're embarrassed because I think
I'll truthful answer. If you threw some tentacle porn at me in high school, I'd be like, all right, this is doing it for me a little bit. But why is it doing it?
Ew.
I'm telling you, boys are disgusting. And I'm one of those disgusting boys. Let's end this off how we're going to end off every episode. We're going to read some just nice messages from people that they sent us either on Instagram or left maybe a review for this
I think
amazing
I like that.
podcast.
Yeah, so you read
Do you want
the
me to read
reviews,
reviews?
and
Okay.
then I'll read the DMs.
Okay. And should I just read 5-star reviews?
Yes.
Yeah, I don't want to give people who are leaving terrible reviews any more credit for anything.
People are leaving terrible reviews.
Just that one. Remember the couple ones we got there?
Oh yeah.
One told us we were so toxic.
Toxic relationship.
And the other one was like, this podcast is not what I expected. I'm never listening again. And we just started laughing at some of those. But here's one of the really good ones. You ready for this? And their name is incredible. First off, they started off the review. Their title is Best Podcast Ever with 3 Kate exclamation points. So you know they're happy.
Oh my gosh.
But this is from, tell me this isn't a great name,
Okay.
Bob09 Boss 10.
Let me look
Just
at
cool.
it.
Bob09 Boss. So it's pretty much just Bob Boss, I think is what they're trying to get across. But this is from Bob Boss 10. You ready for this?
Yeah, I'm ready.
The best podcast to ever exist. Thank you for being so transparent and discussing mental health. I'm so thankful for both of you, even though I've never met you guys. You have taught me to appreciate the little things in life. You both are such kind human beings. Never stop doing this podcast. 3 big hearts. Not bad, right?
Oh, that was really sweet.
That's really sweet, especially the taught us to appreciate the little things in life, because I feel like
Yes.
Eliza taught us
Right.
how to appreciate. And I think I didn't even realize that when we were making TikToks with her
Yeah.
and they were blowing up. I think people were seeing that and seeing how incredibly strong this little girl was. And they were thinking we're the strong ones and taught her that, but she was
Yeah.
teaching us.
Yeah. She was teaching us how to appreciate life.
Yeah, which is, I still think about and
For
think.
sure.
That's why I'm so thankful that she was in my life.
I know.
You know?
I do know.
So before I start crying, let's hear.
I know. Well,
let's hear
now
one of
I don't
your
know.
nice-
So this one is also kind of emotional too. So now I'm trying not to cry. This is from Celia Skubik. She said, she sent this on October 25th. She said, I saw a butterfly today and I immediately thought of you. I then smiled, grateful how you and your family have influenced my life in the subtlest ways. How a little heartbeat smaller than the flap of 2 wings can cause such massive impact on my life. I thought of her and how a little butterfly was fighting the odds in late October. I don't know if I'm helping or hurting the pain, but I'm trying my best, and it's always better to try than to not try at all. I hope you are too. With much love that only seems to grow, just another person that loves all perspectives you bring to this world.
Wow. Kate, When I say like tearing up, like I got choked up, but Kate has actual tears coming out of her.
I need to read something else. I love you, Celia.
That was such a good man. Yeah. Celia, thank you. I mean, I'm not even lying a little bit when I say we read all of our messages. Maybe we haven't got to most of them, but we read all of them. And sometimes, even though we want to respond, sometimes they're so good we have to like think about it and have a good response.
Yeah, so
just because some of these are so incredible.
And I do want to, and that's a good point. I do want to say I've had such long messages sent to me where I will start crying in the middle of them. And the reason I haven't responded is because I want to put as much thought into my message back to you as you put in to the message you sent me. Because a lot of times, like, I want to acknowledge people who mention Eliza or comment on a story I post on Instagram, and I can respond with like a double heart, and just to let them know, like, I see you, I read what you're saying, and I appreciate you, and I want you to know that double tap of a heart means a lot for me because I am reading a lot of these. There are messages where I feel compelled to message back in the most thoughtful way that they did. And it's an homage to who they are and their way of speaking and reaching out. So I do just want to point that out.
Yeah, I tried to respond to a lot of messages too. Mine are not as great of responses, I feel like, than Kate does sometimes, just because she is better with
He'll like walk in and I'll be like
love language
on the phone
words.
crying. He's like, "What are you doing?" I'm like, "I'm messaging this person." And he's like, "Are you?"
And it's not because I don't want to, because I do. Like when
Yeah.
I really sit down and read some, I'll respond very heartfelt. I just don't get on social media that much, and I need to be better at that. That's why Kate's been getting me on more to read some of these, because some of these are just so amazing to read. Even some of the ones on
But it's good that you're
the
not
reviews
always on social media.
Yeah.
It's good to take a break. All right.
Do you have another?
I do,
good one?
'cause you're gonna
Why
read-
don't you read
Well,
another one?
let's go
Because
back
a
and
lot of
forth.
these, a lot of these, I'm just gonna pick a random one because they're all so good.
Yeah, just
So I'm just gonna read a
scroll
random one,
through.
and then
Okay.
all right. How about I want one where I can see. Oh, this one says their name is Cancer Mama. So I don't even know what the message is. I'm just
Okay,
gonna read
all
it
right.
blindly
All right.
read it.
Okay.
You ready?
Okay.
Kate's voice is perfect. Is a perfect podcast voice. You guys are great. So entertaining. Looking forward to all the Mondays. Frog cancer always. Just even something like that.
I love that.
They even put the little frog emoji, frog cancer. I love that. Thank you, Cancer Mama. I hope Cancer Mama, I'm thinking either,
Yeah, well,
I mean,
either
one of her
she's
child.
diagnosed or she has a
Yeah,
child.
so I
that's
hope everything
diagnosed.
is going
Going
as well as it
and
can.
And I've said this to parents before. Even though our hearts are shattered, I
Shattered,
sometimes
yeah.
send messages that will say, "A piece of my shattered heart goes out to your shattered heart."
That's a good way to put it.
And it's like all parents who have lost a child, I think, gain strength from other parents who have experienced a similar
Mm-hmm.
loss, and all our hearts are really just coming together with all the broken pieces of everyone
And it
else's
sucks
hearts.
that we have to get together with other parents because that shouldn't be a thing. And there's so many parents out there that have lost children, which is,
Heartbreaking.
it's awful to even think about that there's so many of us. But it does, not that it's a good thing that there's a lot of us, but the strength from those people does help
Yeah.
other people get through.
It helps us get through it, for sure. I love how
So
they
thank
didn't
you,
mention
Cancer
your
Mama.
voice, and that's probably because last episode you were
awful.
making out with a mic, and I was trying to listen
I was
to
yelling at the mic.
You were,
like
it
Eminem.
was like, yeah, and
yelling
I
at
was
the mic.
listening to it in my car. I'm like, what was happening? And it's funny, if you listen to the episode before this one, so episode 6, I even asked Chance, I'm like, did you check the audio? And he lies to me and goes,
Of course I checked it.
yeah, I checked it. And then I'm listening to it. I'm like, that motherfucker.
didn't
And I was
check
like,
the goddamn-
I'm like in my car having to turn the volume down, turn it up, turn it down.
But you know what's
turn it up.
funny?
What?
The first episode, people were like, I can barely hear Chance. Second episode, I can barely hear Kate. Third episode, I can barely hear both of you. So I just jack everything up,
did.
and then it seems distorted. So I can't please anybody.
You can please me.
I can please myself.
Oh my God. Okay, anyways, so on to the next. So this is a message from Nancy. Nancy, you know that you and I message back and forth all the time. So I don't want to mess up your last name. Nancy Reinders, I think, is how you pronounce it. I know she doesn't live in the U.S. So she said, freaking love both your personalities. And this is regard to the podcast because she listens to it. Love you, Nancy. I really feel like I actually see you every Monday on the podcast. I don't laugh with my own friends this much. That's actually kind of sad.
It's not.
Thank
It's
you
fun.
for being. She said that. I didn't say that's.
I'm saying that's.
sad. I thought you were saying like I'm saying it's sad she doesn't laugh with her friends. No, she said it.
Oh.
Chance, I would never say that.
I thought
No,
you were...
literally, let me read it word. Stop.
I was like, why are
You're
you?
making me sound like an asshole.
I was like, she has such a good message. Why are you saying that about her?
No.
Okay.
She said, I don't laugh with my own friends this much. That's actually sad. She said that, Chance. She said, thank you for being who you are, both of you, with the kiss emoji.
That was good. I'm thankful she wrote that because if you would have wrote that, that would have sounded very bad on your.
Yes.
That was a good message. That was really nice.
I know. And Nancy and I, we're basically besties. We don't.
You go way back.
Yeah. Well, yeah. She's the one who I really started messaging people with. So
I'm just looking down at my gremlin feet.
that's so gross.
They seem so small. They look like hobbit feet.
Chance. You could climb a tree with those feet.
Honestly,
you could hang off a branch with those toes.
They could have casted me in Lord of the Rings and they wouldn't have had to do any makeup. That's how gross my feet look to me.
You say that you think your feet are not gross.
No, I know they are, but I love that. They're not gross. I mean, if you look at
Chance,
them,
I want you to post a picture of your feet.
just like
on Instagram
put them in the
and
weirdest
just
position.
Don't
like
put
claw
a caption
toes.
at all. And just post a picture of your feet.
Or beauty
No.
comes in all forms, and that's my kind. And then I have a picture of my feet.
Stop.
I could not be a foot model.
People might use those. Maybe someone's into that. Someone could be into that type of foot.
I've always dreamed of. I always hear like when you
Should
got
I
me
say-
when you got me into Alex Cooper's podcast, call her daddy.
Call her daddy, yeah.
She was talking about how people would message not just them, but like message
Yeah, for
women
feet pics.
for feet pics. Like that's actually a thing.
I know.
And I guarantee you, if someone was like, "Hey, can I pay you like $100 for your foot pic?" I'd be like, "Oh, all right." And I would send it. They'd be like, "Never mind, give me my 100 back." That'd be my fear. Like I can't even send a foot picture.
You can use Venmo. Okay, you can use Venmo.
Genius. It's so silly, but it works.
All right. Well, we love you guys.
Yeah, thank you again for everybody listening out there.
I'm sure you guys cried a little bit, maybe shed one tear. And if you didn't,
We shed
heartless.
enough for you.
Yeah. And I hope you guys laughed as well. We love you guys. And frog you cancer.
Frog you cancer.